more zone sportsmanship challenge ideas for Headphone a Go-Go, or anyone else who might be interested. By the way, Headphone, thanks for the shout out in that It's Tommy Love vlog episode.
By the way, I hate it when people say vlog. It's vlog. It's not hard to say. It's a portmanteau of video and blog. And in fact, the word blog itself is a portmanteau of weblog. Yet people don't say blog, they say blog. So it makes no sense to say vlog, it's inconsistent. If the word is blog, then the other word must also be vlog. Consistency and reliability. Hufflepuff, represent. Our ideals are the pillars of civilization. Anyway, before I go off on that tangent.
Since you mentioned bolt-action rifles, I thunk up this challenge. A safari-style challenge focusing on the use of a bolt-action rifle of your choice. My favorite is the Mauser Kar 98K with an Israeli-style caliber conversion from 7.92 Mauser to 7.62 NATO. In Anomaly, at least standard issue Anomaly 151, 7.92 Mauser is slightly cheaper than 7.62 NATO, but it's also less commonly used because there are only 2 rifles chambered for it. Whereas 7.62 NATO, you have more of a chance of resupplying to whatever degree you can in the field. Then of course there's also the crafting your own ammo bit, but the way that's handled in this mod doesn't really make an entirety of sense. And nor does the weapon disassembly bit, because if you can disassemble a weapon, you ought to be able to reassemble it. And when you disassemble a Groza, what happens to the grenade launcher? It disappears. That doesn't make any sense. And it's a waste of resources.
Ah, well that explains why he was jogging his way in here. Or jaunting. Having himself a little jog jaunt. Alright, not in the mood for conversation. I was just trying to pass the time. I kind of have the gift of gab IRL. I can start up a conversation with a complete stranger as if I've known them forevs. It's not difficult to find common ground with people. Well, if you have the gift of gab. Oftentimes I end up talking about food. I'm a foodie to the max. Or beer, which is an aspect of cuisine, of course. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a descendant of Appalachian moonshiners. I don't like moonshine. I like beer. I like Jägermeister, I love that. But moonshine, I don't care for that. You know the Ukrainian beer you can find in this mod?
I spent most of my time looking for beer.
I'm thinking it's probably a Pilsner. I wish I had some on me right now. This would be the perfect time to drink it. And I would have split it with you if you hadn't been such a jerkweed. You had no reason to do that. I don't care if you are a duty. I'm an ecologist, I'm your buddy. Of course, I'm also buddies with Freedom. Zone don't give a flip about anyone's philosophy. Alright, now that that's over and done with.
What are the stipulations of this challenge? I went ahead and spawned this because I couldn't remember off the top of my head who sold it. Probably someone in Corden. I didn't feel like going off on a jaunt just for that. Even with fast travel, I wanted to cobble together what I had on hand while coming up with this challenge. And yes, it is odd to combine a high quality helmet with a low quality suit or jacket. Anyway, since Snorks, I would have gone with Snorks for the basis of this challenge, because to score a headshot on a Snork requires maximum precision and discipline. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it challenging. That's why so many of my previous ZSCs involved Snorks. But Call of Pripyat Snorks aren't like Shadow of Chernobyl Snorks. They move in a way that makes them seem like they're, I don't know, disconnected to some degree from the world around them. But they're not overly tough, so there's that. Also, I've experimented with every type of Snork that's able to be spawned. And not a single one of them can do this. Which means I'm not able to do this. Alright, so you need a lightweight jacket, the best backpack you can get, whatever headgear you want, all these slots, whatever you want, backup weapon, whatever you want. The important thing is bolt-action rifle with iron sights, no scope. That's Safari style. Safari hunters didn't use scopes, they used iron sights for the sake of maintaining unhindered peripheral vision and situational awareness.
And typically 2 shots was all you would have the opportunity to pull off. So that's why some of those Safari rifles, especially stopping rifles, were double barrel. Though there were also bolt action Safari rifles, and there was at least one that was a double barrel bolt action, which would be more accurately described as a tandem or duplex system. Do an image search on that if you feel like it. Double bolt action rifle.
Alright, so instead of snorks, it'll be lurkers. And you have to shoot them out of the air with a bolt action rifle. But I'm also going to try to figure out some fun long distance type of deal. Strong lurker. Didn't start my sprint fast enough. Or soon enough. Nothing on your belt. Alright. I didn't bother bringing any armor repair stuff because it's a jacket. You could pack some energy drinks if you wanted to. That wouldn't really affect the purpose of the challenge. Quite dissatisfied with my performance there. But my hands are all kinds of sweaty, despite the AC being on.
Actually, let me see something here. Alright. Now, the correct reload procedure after firing the last shot. The Mauser has a bolt stop, so that makes this easier. Because you can feel if the bolt's not going forward. Then you know you need either press down on the bolt stop to return the bolt forward if you want to leave the gun empty, or you need to start reloading. Your senses get accustomed to that sort of thing. And I think if I hold down reload, that process should begin right after opening the bolt, which is how you're supposed to do it. In video games, what we often see is your character will open the bolt after firing the last shot, then close the bolt, then open it again before reloading. Not even a rookie would do that IRL. I don't understand that. Oblivion Lost 2010 got that right with the Arasaka and the Mauser, but they got it wrong with both the infantry and sniper variants of the Mosin-Nagant. I don't understand how it's possible to not be consistent with that. I don't understand how it's possible for everyone to not get that right all the time.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, in the case of this mod, I can sort of accept that because reloading is manual. There's no automatic reloading, but, I mean, we're talking AAA games and whatnot that get it wrong.
Makes me think of movies and how movie people have this ridiculous preference for doing things wrong because they think it looks cooler. Like that gangsta-style shooting that was so popular in the 90s. Turbo Overkill has that. I'm thinking I might get that game. It looks awesome, except for that. I mean, why can't we see a proper Macmillan tilt for once? That's where that stupid gangsta-style shooting comes from. Someone at some point saw someone do a Macmillan tilt, didn't understand the reason or purpose behind that technique. That technique serves a purpose.
When incompetence becomes tradition, a trope is born. Or should I say, a curse.
Well, I'm not doing very well on this. Satisfied with that one.
What next? Fellow nerd. I can tell you're a fellow nerd with that almost Half-Life HEV suit color scheme. And that one too. The Isrit suit that's available to the player is blue, but there's no orange one. The Isrit suit sucks, by the way. You a merc? It still feels odd to me being chums with mercs as an ecologist, because I still remember back in the day, Wolfhound and his posse were hounding Professor Kruglov. Alright, part of me wants to try to nail a snork in the head at some distance using a bolt-action rifle. But, like I've probably reiterated multiple times, snorks in this mod are not fun to hunt. Plus, with these guys occupying this space, they're going to steal my thunder. Well, shucks. What would be fun? First of all, a different locale. I think burn resistance with any jacket, suit, or armor is a better choice than electric resistance, because electrical anomalies like electros will pretty much always kill you instantly anyway, whereas heat fields can be resisted to a degree with enough heat protection. Chemical and burn protection are the best choices for an artifact hunter. I could have waited till I got hungrier and thirstier, but I didn't feel like it. And the jacket stipulation with this challenge, that's probably not obligatory. Don't think I mentioned it before, but the caliber conversion on this rifle also has the added bonus benefit of silencer affinity. Optics are nothing to write home about. I'm sure that was good enough for its era, but I mean, 2-power magnification compared to 4-power magnification. If you're going to use a scope, it might as well have a bare minimum of 4-power magnification. Unless it's an ACOG. 2-power magnification is fine on an intermediate caliber rifle, but a high-powered rifle ought to have a bare minimum of 4-power. Ye Old Cement Factory, one of my favorite locales. Up here would not be one of my favorite locales IRL because I don't do well with heights. So I most certainly would not be doing something like this IRL. Let's try a zombified stalker.
See if I can nail one in the head. One of them has an ecologist ruby version of the SSP-99M. That's cheating. Or rather, it would be cheating if I used a scope on a different rifle in order to align my aim. This is supposed to be Iron Sight Safari style. If you use a scope on a different rifle as a spotter scope, that's fine. Different concept. Oh. Bonus fun time. It's 40 Miller time. If they're direct hits to the face, it only takes 2. I had a feeling that would be a bandit. Oh! Burner stole my frag. Should have just kept pounding it with 40 mils. Alright, I will try a snork, but I'm not expecting it to be as fun as it would be in any version of Oblivion Lost. In fact, I remember specifically being able to nail snorks in the head with a bolt-action rifle in Oblivion Lost 2010. Bog standard normal snork. This is totally impractical. Which is, of course, part of the whole point. If I could pull this off just once, I'd be satisfied. I'll spawn several, see what happens. Anomalies kill us all equally. No discrimination. Wonder if they can make that jump. You gonna knock me off the tower? Oh, I was hoping I'd fall all the way down, like in an action movie. Now we're in Silent Hill. That adds an extra element of challenge. Obscured visibility.
By the way, remember what I said earlier about incompetence becoming tradition, and then incompetence-based traditions becoming tropes and or curses? In the movie On Deadly Ground, a Steven Seagal movie from the 90s, Billy Bob Thornton's hapless henchman character is talking to his buddy about whether he should have the stock in or out on his submachine gun, which happens to be a Swedish K. And of course, if you have to ask that question, you don't deserve a Swedish K. And he says that when he has the stock out that is unfolded, that he feels like a but when he has it in, that is folded, or in other words, in its storage position, it feels meaner. That might explain, now, I don't know if Steven Seagal came up with that or if Billy Bob Thornton came up with that. If Thornton came up with that, maybe he was poking fun at the concept of leaving a folding stock in its storage position while the firearm is meant to be in use. That's just total incompetence, and we only see that in movies. But we see it all the time, and it's been going on for generations. You don't leave the stock folded. You don't leave a folding or collapsible stock in its storage position when you're actually using the firearm. And then there's the movie The Wraith, an 80s movie from the 80s, starring Charlie Sheen. And there's a scene that involves a SPAS 12 modified. It has a fixed wooden stock. That wouldn't be a problem. But it also still has a top folding stock with the hook accessory attached to it. Now, what does that mean? You have a full fixed wooden stock and a top folding metal stock on the same gun. Now, of course, the top folding stock has to remain in its folded position because you can't unfold it. And it still has the hook, which can't serve its purpose with the stock in its storage position. Can use it as a carry handle, sure, but who gives a flippity-floob about carry handles? That hook thing is meant to be able to hook around the user's forearm so that you can fire, you can more easily hold the thing one-handed and fire it.
One-handed. I guess that was a consideration at some point in history. There we go. Action movie death scene.
I guess I kind of need to stop getting
distracted.
I know these things matter to others, not just me. And yes, these things are important. It's important for people to understand how firearms are meant to be used. Because if a person were to do this, copy the things they see in movies, it would be a disaster. And let's face it, people do copy things they see in movies.
If I could take out one more bandit with one well-aimed shot, that'll be good enough. Doesn't have to be a headshot. Headshots preferred.
But snipers and sharpshooters IRL don't usually go for headshots. They go for center mass, and that's typically good enough. Center chest. But in video games, I guess the heart isn't considered as necessary an organ as the brain. See if I can get up to that other tower. My foot stuck or something?
Saw that crow fly by. That gave me an idea. Shoot a bird out of the sky with a bolt-action rifle. Iron sights only. That's a challenge skill shot. You know where the word sniping comes from? There's a type of European bird called a snipe. And it was traditionally hunted with a rifle. To hunt a bird or any other small, fast-moving creature with a rifle requires exceptional skill. Well, I nailed one. Oh, they're monolith. The fact that pseudo-giants and chimeras can appear pretty much anywhere is why I got in the habit of packing a grenade launcher at all times.
Back in the old Oblivion Lost 2.2 days, I got in the habit of packing a grenade launcher at all times. Partially just because I could, because you could acquire as many GP-25s or other types of launchers as you wanted, whereas in Shadow of Chernobyl, the GP-25 was kind of a rare treat. There's only one that you're guaranteed to find, and the other one you're dependent upon whether or not you can get the right information to make it appear in a stash, or so I've read, and I've never gotten.
Oh, what should I spawn? I guess a bandit. Satisfied with that. Would have been more satisfied with a Snork because it would have to be a headshot to score a one-shot kill. Except I'm not even sure if that's the case in this mod. In Oblivion Lost 2010, there were different variations of Snorks, and some of them were super tough and could withstand multiple headshots. Not too many though, and there was no visual indicator. All the Snorks looked the same. In this mod, you can spawn a type of Snork that's not wearing a mask. It just sort of has a zombie face with no nose.
Protest me too, man.
No mask. I didn't think I actually pulled that off. Come on, just one. I hit it. Sounds like they took down that monolith goon.
Come on, more. I want more. Fine.
What if they could climb ladders, though? I hope that's a thing in Stalker 2. I hope enemy zoners and mutants can do anything and everything that, really, that you, the player, can do. I'm not hiding. I'm here for a reason. Idiot. Don't make assumptions like that. And there was a fellow ecologist even basically notifying my enemies of my position. I'll have a word with him later. All my enemies are only monolith and bandits. Everyone they've sent after me, I've had bounties put on my head so many times, and everyone they've sent out after me, I've always mutilated them with maximum violence to make an example out of them.
You're a sociopath.
I don't think I'm gonna pull this off.
Still have plenty of ammo. This is going about as well as I expected it to. So yeah, screw the snorks. I wanted to play along with the snorks. But the snorks wouldn't play along with me because they're called Pripyat AI. So let's go back to the shooting birds out of the sky. If I can do that just one more time. And there it was. That'll do. Now what should I do about all these snorks? 40 mil ultimate problem solver. Well, one of the ultimate problem solvers. Should have tried to take two out with one. Hey, I wonder if I can make this jump. Probably die in the process. I made the jump and didn't die. That fall probably wouldn't kill you, but it would break you. Where do the snorks go? I hear them. Are they all underground? I'm up here. Are they? Well, what's down there that's so interesting? Silent Hill flashbacks intensify. Ah! Well, that'll do. So, forget the snorks. Just focus on lurkers. You gotta shoot them out of the air, which will most likely take more than one shot. I don't know, maybe you might nail a headshot and take it down with only one. Shoot birds out of the sky. And at least two each of these different things. I'll take out a bandit or a zombified stalker or any type of enemy that can be one-shotted, ideally with a headshot from a distance of your choice, but try to make it a pretty far distance and from an elevated position. So, a few different variations of the challenge.
In the words of Bruce Campbell, catch you on the flip-flop.
Grotesque flesh! Aye! It's delicious! Horisha! Elane!